So it's the last fall session of happy hours with the organization I do them with. So for 2 months, we've been going to the same place. We've been going to Latha. Latha is, I guess, a Pan-African restaurant. Different food, food from different countries, sections of the African diaspora. And it's like $2 sign price food. For the organization, this particular organization, they had a customized menu just for us. So some drinks, entrees, appetizers, and this is stuff. Some of the stuff they already have on the regular menu, but some of the, I think the prices were also, but they're still $2 sign. So yeah, it's 62 degrees. It rained yesterday, all day yesterday, to the point of it hailed. So on 67th Ave, 75th Ave, I guess the 10, that's Interstate 10 if you aren't familiar. So Glendale, Peoria, it hailed on the freeway. I'd say go to abc15.com if you're not from Arizona, and I'm sure there's a news story on it because when things like that happen in Arizona, particularly in Phoenix, it makes the news. When we have haboobs, it makes the news. So, I have nothing but sunscreen on my face. My eyebrows were done earlier. I had a doctor's appointment, so I did these earlier. They look nice, don't they? We're back to using a pencil. And then I'm also using eyebrow gel by, it was the focus, WingMe. I don't like this because it literally came with this much of the gel. Like about that much maybe. And then you probably can't see that ring right there, but that's from, of course, using it on your eyebrows. You put in here and it now mixes up and makes it dirty. So because they don't give you a lot, I don't like that. Mind you, I know that's like a sample size compared to what they probably usually give their people. I don't know. I did just have some flaking, so I just noticed it, so I'm like, okay. Did I just take off some of my lines? So yeah, I know Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow gel is gonna be in sale. I want to say the 22nd, for their Black Friday sales. It's gonna be a sale. So maybe if I'm deciding to gel my eyebrows again, I will do that. So yeah, and then this, I call it my hot Cheetos hair. So originally, I used, I want to say Cream of Nature. I'm gonna talk as I do this. Originally, I'm gonna say I did Danessa. Cream of Nature, what's it called? It was a light golden blonde. And the girl they had was light skin, so lighter than me. And it did not look like, it wasn't, when it came out of me, it did not look blonde at all. It looked kind of coppery. So I'm like, okay. And I even used a purple shampoo, but I'm like, that's not what came out. So I'm like, okay. We're using a new foundation, so I'm kind of trying to prime more than just what she's on. So Danessa is gonna mattify. And because it was raining yesterday, like the air, it's cold, but it's not humid at all, actually. It's just cold. Like I had a hoodie on for my doctor's appointment. I had my NYX hoodie that is like huge, kind of like a jacket. I think my mother gave it to me. Yeah, because nobody else would give me that. I don't wear it that often. So I was like, oh, I'm an NYX fan, but I haven't worn it in a while, basically since last winter. So I put that on, which ironically, if you know the NYX colors, went with my hair. That's the point I was getting to. And then, so of course, since it wasn't the color I wanted, I happened to be in the store because I had to buy soap, which of course they did not have the soap that I was looking for. And I think that's good because I'm like, so I had to, I bought a little one single of Zest in the travel section. This is what's left of Buxom. So pink, so it's purplish actually. So while I was there looking at the dye, seeing if I could maybe find another color, and they don't. The bleach that I used to use by Bright is now like $20 on their website. And it's way too expensive everywhere else. So $20 is too much because I only paid like, I'd say $99 maybe. So that's a little crazy. That'd be the Real Her. I've used that before. So I was like, and I have to wait for shipping. Oh, Amazon has the shades like the pastel pink, pastel purple, pastel blue, but they don't have the bleach kit. I don't recall seeing the bleach kit. Or it was too expensive. I don't remember. Anyway, so I was like, oh, I found one. I found a midnight blue, which I probably should have got. But I did take a picture so I'd remember to try that shade later. And then I found a ruby red. So ruby red doesn't look like this. So this is a combination of ruby red and gold, like golden brown. That's what this is. And I did my eyebrows already, so I don't know why. No grease again. But no, nobody, so me going to the doctor's office, nobody said anything about my hair. I doubt they would have, but still, like, because I keep forgetting that it's this color until I look in the mirror when I'm in the bathroom. I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot. So it looks better than it did. It's like I said, it's like, because when I did the blonde, it did not, this part was copper, but this part was very light. And so I was like, okay, purposely, I'm trying to get the edges because that's where my gray hairs are. Mind you, the blonde, the cream of nature says it even gets grays. It did not. So I was like, okay, and I don't care about grays, but don't say that and then not. So with the ruby red, you see it's all strong. If you look at strong here, it's more orangey here. Orange, it's definitely hot Cheetos here, and then it's like orangey here and here, which is where apparently it doesn't saturate my edges when I dye my hair. So, but yeah, it's grown on me. It's grown on me. So I moisturized it. We're good to go. Let's see. But yeah, I just went to the doctor's office because I was tired. I was like, this perimenopause, what's going on? And then my vertigo, I'm like, what's going on? Even while I was sitting in the doctor, I was like, I just had a vertigo. It's just right now. And it wasn't like bad or anything, but I'm just like, I'm not doing anything. So you see, that's how it comes on. And so I knew she was going to do tests. Mind you, my appointment wasn't until noon. But she loves to do labs. I do like that about her. Let's get into the foundation. So it's Makeup by Mario's his new one, the natural one, not the one he had before, the SurrealSatin foundation. I'm not sure I get the right color. Looks like a B. Is that a B or is that an A? I got this actually. When did I pick this up? In September. It's November, I know, but I haven't tried it till now. I don't put my glasses on. I don't want to put the wrong shade on. Okay, that's B. So I say that because I'll just show it to you. So you see that color, then you see that color. This is 23O, or considered olive. And in the store, even when I put it on the face, you look at it in lights, it looks like it freaking matches. Like it's definitely here, it looks like it matches. But me trying it at home, because I have a darker neck, that's when you notice the olive in it. Versus this one is low, almost the same shade, but it's a little bit darker. So summer tan kind of thing. This one is more matches, I'd say, this part. So I decided to go with this one. It just, because like I said, me having to correct that green look and neck, I decided to go with this one. Anyway, so she's like, okay, you gotta take some labs. Like I said, I knew she was gonna take labs. So I drank water. My God, I have a thing she did. And she kind of gave me a new sleep schedule. She's like, how are you sleeping? And I told her, she's like, yeah, we ain't gonna, because of my sleeping pills or whatever. She's like, yeah, we're gonna have you go to bed earlier and try that out and see if that works. So I'm like, all right. I'm gonna put that right there, and of course it's on my fingers. And again, this is supposed to be a natural finish, or somebody said matte maybe. I'm using Danessa, ironically, the brush, because I need to wash all my brushes. But I'm like, I'm not going anywhere for a while, so I'm like, I have time. So you see how it's kind of, it's a little warmer. And this is neutral. This is 24 neutral, but you see how warm it looks. I keep seeing this flake. See, so I keep seeing the flake from the freaking. I keep forgetting. One day I'm going to actually put foundation here, none up there, and then whatever's left over go up to my forehead. I know I've seen one of the girlies do that. I'm trying not to get too close to my hairline because, like I said, I like the shade that got going there. I'm trying to figure out if I'm hearing the baby downstairs or not. I think Danessa just sent out her email about the 30% off for Black Friday. You know, when people used to dye their hair using Kool-Aid, that's what this reminds me of when I look at it. Sometimes I'm like, I never did that. I didn't start dyeing my hair. Well, no, I had highlights, like maybe in high school. My mother let me get, so I'm like, but yeah, I didn't start dyeing my hair till the pandemic. But yeah, because since I have low growing hair, so it's right there, so that's what I was trying to not get it in the hair. Because it's cold, I could wear a wig, but I didn't want to deal with that headache. I'm not going to get stop raining because I'm like, usually sit in the area where there's a bunch of tables, whatever. They may still put us on the patio, and not down, but the porch instead. We'll see. Because it's less community-wise, because you got different sets of tables. You'd one either have to push them all together, or but the groups will be separated. We did do that once because I think it may have rained, but I don't think that was a good idea because like it was very, I don't say cliquish, but it just kind of felt that way. So one of the last sales Fenty just had, I got the mini travel size concealer, wear even concealer. In my actual shade, which is 445. That's the foundation shade as well. So I was like, let me just match it, of course. But we know a Fenty doesn't mean it's going to match the actual foundation. But I'm using it with Makeup by Mario. because according to ChatGPT, because they're both neutral, they should work. So we shall see. Without me buying, I mean, yeah, I could have bought Makeup by Mario's concealer, but I'm like, I heard so many mixed reviews when it came out, so I was like, yeah, I don't need that. And I got into House Labs instead, because House Labs also came out at the same time. And I didn't use the House Labs a lot, so I definitely probably won't ever restock on that. Now let's do this one here. But yeah, I was like, oh, I gained weight, or I gained the weight back that I had, so lost that I didn't know how I lost anyway. So I'm like, okay, now that's cool. If it would stop raining, I would actually go for walks. But like I said, it's been raining, and I'm like, you're thwarting my plans. And yeah, we might start hiking in December, even though it's cold. Again, it keeps raining. Over there. I haven't put that on yet. Nope. Let's blend out. Okay, just like that. And you're supposed to be pushing this in, but have y'all ever seen me push this in? I don't. Oh, and I realized I didn't do it there like I usually do. That's okay. I'm going to move it up like that. So it will be okay. And then I just kind of go down because it does help define my double chin. And I guess there's a family reunion next year for my family. I'm like, sound like it's going to be a lot of people. And I'm like, which I know family reunions are. I'm just like, that's a lot. I'm just thinking about how many people it is. I'm like, okay. I need to talk to my dad first. I'm like, did you know about this? Are you going to tell me? And then I need to see my grandmother, but I'm like, can I just go on a separate trip and see my grandmother? And I hate to say, not see the rest of the family, but I'm like, and see my grandmother. That's who I need to see. That's who I want to see. So I'm like, let's get the rest of y'all. But I need to see my grandmother. And I don't feel I'm going to have enough. Since I'm the oldest grandchild, I'm like, one-on-one time kind of thing. Me helping her out. There are other chaos going on if it's not a separate trip. Because, yeah, I was trying to go to Germany next year and see her. This year I was going to go see my friend in Denver, which actually have a cousin, uncle, second cousins in Denver. But, of course, I know they will be at that family reunion. But I'm just like, since our time isn't rolling over this year, so it's like I could have used time, for next year. But I'm like, okay, that's good. If I used my sponges, because I have 50 million sponges, my mother gave me all these little tiny different size sponges, which I know what they are. Those would be good for places like this. So I'm trying not to spread it out, because I see when I watch the video, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of spread out. It covers my whole chin. They're kind of small like that. So yeah, like I said, I literally just found out about this family reunion this morning, and I'm just like, then where to stay, and yeah. Versus if I just go see my grandmother separately, I could stay at the house. I'm sure my dad will come down. Because I'm not driving from the airport to her house. So, it's in a country, south kind of state. I'm not gonna say what state. But I was like, yeah, I'm not accustomed to the driving there. I think last time I was there was a Piggly Wiggly. do they have Piggly Wigglies anymore? Let me tell you last time I was there. Because, yeah, I'd never seen a Piggly Wiggly until then. Because I was like, oh, what they say in the movies does exist. There are Piggly Wigglies. Because I think on the West Coast, yeah, we have... You don't really think about the stores. We don't have nothing specific. We have Fry's, which on the East Coast is called Kroger's. We have Safeway. We have Albertsons, which is owned by AJ's Fine Foods and Food City and Metro Market. I think it's the Bosch's family and the Bosch's. Thank you. So yeah, we don't have things like Piggly Wigglies. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think what other. We have Sprouts. We have Trader Joe's and Whole Foods, but we don't have. Yeah, we have things like Piggly Wiggly. Like this reminder is not getting off my screen. I had a lot of time. I don't know why it's acting like that. And I know this. I want to say Andrea Renee. She says to kind of push. It is for your nose for your nose contour, and not swipe as you see I swipe. So like I said, there's different people do different things, and it works for them. So if she doesn't like to swipe, that's fine. I think, yeah, watching different people do things, since I've watched different videos, not her, but other people, and I'm just like, yeah, that's not, no, don't tell people that. And like somehow it works. I'm like, no, don't do that. But yeah, so I was at the doctor's office. She was behind because my appointment check-in was 11:45, but I took my time getting there because I checked in online earlier or yesterday, so I wasn't too worried about that. But I'm like, oh, I could just show up, and still my appointment's at 12. Did I see her at 12? No. I think I saw her maybe closer to 12:30. She used to be behind before. Like, she hasn't been like that behind in a long time. I think that the walls were thin in that doctor's office. So I can hear her talking to the old lady next door. Apparently the old lady next door may have possibly memory issues happening. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I shouldn't know that. These doors are too thin. Okay. I'm going to blend the edges of everything. When I say blend the edges there, I'm actually, if you notice, I actually go over it because or sometimes it's still just too bright. Or too obvious. But yeah, so I'm like, okay, and then I was in there too long by myself because I don't really move a lot sometimes. I'm like a ninja. I could be sitting in a room and you won't know it. And people forget I'm there. I was like that in the doctor's office. The light went out. So I was like, okay, that means one, I knew I wasn't moving that long, and two, I was in there too long by myself for that to happen. So she came in, she's like, I'm sorry, you're sitting here. She's like, I'm sorry, I'm behind. Because I'm like, yeah, lady. Mind you, I like her. So I was like, okay. And she didn't even do the usual, like, physical. It wasn't there for physical anyway, but, like I said, I knew labs were going to be drawn. See how the hair is throwing me off to figure out if it looks okay. And also the way my hair was coppery before I put in the ruby red, it reminded Malcolm X, or when he was Malcolm Little, because you know he had reddish hair, because he's light skinned, reddish hair, and you see the old videos when I'm thinking of the movie and not of actually him, but I know I can see actual him, and he had reddish hair. That's the color of blonde my hair was that reddish. So Malcolm Little hair color, and then Malcolm X, then Shabazz. Yeah, and I was just like, okay, this box freaking lied about my freaking blonde, about how blonde it was supposed to be. Do this to kind of help that out. So yeah, I was like, that was not the blonde that you say. We are putting blush on. This is Terracotta. Again, I'm washing all these brushes because I don't even know if I'm gonna do. I probably won't even do a full face of makeup for Thanksgiving because I'm invited somewhere, and they confirmed it or said it again this week. So I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. Like, I don't know if you have plans already. Mind you, they already invited me before, but I'm like, nothing has changed since then. I'm still coming. Because they initially invited me, I was like, okay, I'm still figuring it out if me and my mother are doing something. And so he touched base again, I would say last week or something. When was book club? 2 weeks ago. That week, he mentioned it to me again. That's when I said, don't worry about, making dinner time to after I get off work. And then this week again, he's like, okay, we confirmed the time, it's going to be this. But yeah, you can come whenever. And I'm like, dude, I want to get there when the food is hot. But I was like, yeah, that gives me enough time to. I'm taking it off my hand right now. I was just dipping back in, so I don't know why I'm still holding this, but as you see, I am. Because when I set it, it'll get to full power anyway, so. So I was like, yeah, the only plans I have is spinning it with the. And I used his last name, and he liked that. I've known him a very long time. I want to say 2003. Yeah, I want to say 2003 because we used to work together. It's at least between 2003 and 2006, which is my first time working. I don't work at the same company, but that company still exists. I think it became another company, and that company still exists. But a lot of my same coworkers all came from that same company, so I'm like, yeah. So between that time period, I've known him that long. Concealer brush. I'm just kind of blend edges there, even though it's not that much on there. Okay, yeah, I'll be there. And he knows I'll be watching Cowboys game. I think he knows that. Alright, let's put on some powder. We're gonna set everything, and then we're gonna do some baking. Or not baking, but we're gonna do the eyeshadow, so I'm gonna need to do baking. I'm not wearing this. I was wearing this underneath the hoodie, my next hoodie, because I knew for them to get blood pressure, I'd have to, you can't really roll up the sleeves in that thing. So I knew I'd have to take it off. And I'm like, okay, let me just have this ready to go already. Which happened. And then getting blood drawn. I have rolling veins. So I'm like, use my hand, but I always let them. I'm like, you can try. If you can find one, go ahead, you can try. But if a Navy SEAL couldn't find one or get it to stay, then I don't expect anybody else. Because I had a Navy SEAL that struggled to get one in so they could do that bubble test. But like, he's a freaking Navy SEAL. So I'm like, okay, everybody else, I'm like, yeah. Oh, that's nice and light for once. I realize I probably don't have to keep double dipping. I don't put a lot of concealer on. Usually when I put it, it goes a little further, and that's why I'm used to setting. Okay. And now for the baking part, I'm going to, so all of this. Okay, and then I'm gonna set the rest of my face and leave that there. Can't really do my nose with it, but the baking going on, but. I'm gonna go back to that because I'm gonna use that as my transition shade. And then Juvia's Place, of course. I'm gonna go back and forth. This also kind of goes with my hair because my hair is pretty much these two colors. But yeah, when I got back from the doctor's office, because the lab was closed, I guess maybe she went to lunch. They kept saying 12:45, 12. I'm like, I shouldn't have to wait long. And then, of course, because that appointment, she was over with the other lady, and thus over with me. So the lab was open by the time. By the time she finally finished with me. Okay. Let me do the rest of the face. But yeah, so she did look and then ended up going through my hand. I'm like, it's fine. Y'all messing up my hand, modeling career, that's fine. I always use the same hand. Which I'm trying to think what led them to always use the hand. I think it's because instead of using your writing hand, I'm gonna go like that because I remember seeing that line right there. And I'm like, sometimes it just appears, but I'm like, so we're gonna do to that extent. Then let's do the eyeshadow. I have a lot of eyeshadow things out here. Again, bronzer. Some people use cream, but then they set it anyway. So I'm like, what the hell's the point of using a cream bronzer? We're just gonna. I watched a lot of videos, reels, stories, whatever, about how to do a smoky eye. So I watched 2 again that I saved. So we'll see if we'll figure this out together. But basically, you need your transition shade first. After you primed your eyes, however you like to prime them, concealer, bronzer, eye primer. We know I use the matte prep and prime. There's one that seems to last forever as long as it keeps lasting, because that was $28. I may have gotten it at a sale, but it was still $28. It wasn't that much of a sale. And you only use a pea size, if that, so if as long as it keeps lasting, I'm here for it. Okay. I think we got our transition shade. Hopefully I don't need that again. I'm gonna put that over there. And then, so the other thing from the Sephora sale that I kept forgetting, what did I get, was eyeshadow. So 30% off. These are $8. Y'all do the math, y'all. Math is not mine. 8 times 30, so 24, $2.4. This one is in 607. Basically, it's black. I'm not trying to put glasses on to see what it says. The case is hard to open, which Andrea Renee, who bought a bunch of these, like maybe 5, mentioned. She's like, yeah, it doesn't open like you think it would open, which is why. The thing is, it took me a while, even though she said that, because you think it opens right there, but it's wonky. And I guess all of these kind of stack. I might just try not to tear that. So once you get it open, of course, I'm not going to remember how I got it open. I don't remember how she got it open. But yeah, this little thing you would think you would do it right there. And I did get the one in the stores open, but once I would open them, okay. So what I did was I put my fingernail on the side and lifted it versus doing the front where you would think. So instead of going here, I put my fingernail over there and like that. Am I going to remember that? Probably not. Okay. This video is going to be a little long because we're learning Smokey Eye today. Okay, you see how black that is? Okay, let me just show you. Yeah, I didn't put the whole thing in it. So they say use a flat brush. I'm not going to say who because, again, there's a lot of people, videos out there, so I don't know whose I would give credit to. And then you kind of pat it. What is on my eyelid there? On your lid. I'm trying to remember who the person was who asked how I keep my... I still be using these to do that. So kind of... Because I never get very close to my eyeline, so it's like... If you ever see me put lashes on, my lashes don't always go right there. So the longest part of this video is probably me doing a smoky eye. So I'll put in a description when the smoky eye is, and if you want to go someplace else. Because I realized I have one eyeshadow kit that has a black. I want to say it's who's it by, but I don't use it. And I might declutter that. I got it at my Ipsy. But like I said, I don't use it because it's like a Makeup by Mario dupe of his popular eyeshadow palette. I think that's why I keep it. But because I have the coffee shop or Juvia's place, I'm like, those are the colors I would use the most. So the browns, neutrals. I'm trying to get close to my lid of mine. Because you're not supposed to close your eyes when you do your eyes. So that's why I was like, oh. I'm trying to see, can I see it? Okay, because we know I've hooded lids. Okay. Because we are going to blend this out, so that's why I'm not trying to go higher. And you're supposed to take, I think you can take, so we're also using Danessa. I'm trying to see a color in here. It kind of maybe matches my head. So that one maybe. Yeah, we're going to go with that one for now. I'll pull it out later to say which one that is. And this has some brown in it. What do you call it? I mean bronzer, but I'm gonna dip into that as well. Let's see. So it's kind of a rusty kind of color. And then blend out. You're supposed to blend out where the crease or the transition and the black meet. Okay, for that I'm gonna need to flip my thing because I see it, but it's too close. So I did put a little red in there by me dipping in there. That did that. I think you can just use a clean brush as well. this side is a little bit higher than that one. But yeah, Danessa is pigmented, so you see I didn't dip back into that, and it's fine. I think it's supposed to. But because this is the light work palette, it's going to have some little sheen to it, which is fine, which is why I'm using this. Because lady I watched, she did it with Juvia's Place, which has a very, very, very dark brown, but it's not black. Because this one's less shiny, I'm going to dip in just a little of that. And I've been patting it off of my hand this whole time, so. Again, I know how Danessa is. And I don't know if this is going to be on the 30% off sale. Since there's limited. And the talking about Lightwork 7 now, which I guess is sold out in Sephora, doing a Sephora sale, but it's still on her website. I think Thanksgiving is a week from now. Wow. Okay. I'm going to go like that to also tell. I'm going to go up a little with this color. Okay. And then, okay, so get a color kind of like that. Sometimes her colors, they may look like they're a certain color, but they're not till you swatch them. So I'm going to swatch to see what color that is. So it's a little green. That might work. I'm going to go like that to see if that's actual green. That's a blue one, so that green was blue. And I know I did watch videos, but I'm like, yeah, I don't want the green ones. What is that color? I'm running out of fingers. No. Okay, so far, I like that one. Let me wipe my fingers off. And then we got these, so let's... Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. So far, that one is probably going to be it. And then let me... Yeah, we can go with that one. So I'm not going to swipe anymore. Before I spread it out, I'm going to keep patting right there. This is the black again. I'm just going to go right there. Yeah, I'm going to go more. I was like, am I going to go more? Yeah, I'm going to go more. It's basically the black is, I wouldn't say the primer, but the holder. Then you put the glitter on top. And I know I need to cut my nails. Actually need to get a pedicure, like, badly. That one's a little too high right there. I know it is. I'm gonna wipe my hand off. So again, I'm gonna hopefully remember that it was this one when I watch playback. And then I'm going to take this one. I'm still going around. Oh, that's what I was gonna do with this one. I was gonna kind of get it to stay back on the black. I don't like that I can't get into that one side. That's bothering me. Okay, what's what we're gonna do? I'm using the back, which has nothing on it. Okay. It's like sometimes with that, I'm like, does it make me look like a Las Vegas showgirl? With this palette, when you put the glitter on. But I see some people like do some wonderful things with it. So I'm like, no. My lip is gonna be very plain. And then, all right, so blush brush. Okay. Now we're going to get rid of the powder. And then let me look in the corner there. Yeah. Okay. So the whole use your, after you bake, to use your blush brush. There you go. I'm going to put one of these. It's a different color than it looks. Yeah, I don't like that one. That one. Yeah. We're not putting more than that. And that's this one. It's probably, it's either Joy or Dance. I can never remember which one it is. Okay, then I'm going to take this. It's like, why is my hand hurting? Getting the blood drawn. I'm like, okay. Like something. Now let us set the face. It's not going to rain again. Otherwise, I would put on one size as well. I did it now. Okay. One of the young ladies at Happy Hour, I forgot we were talking about, I think, makeup tutorials and stuff like that, and other stuff, and I mentioned that my business is for beginner makeup or whatever. So I did give her a tip and told her to buy this, how to use it, because she had like I think a date, and I don't think she bought it in time for that date, but don't ask me why I just put the label back on, but I did. I'm keeping that. I'm not returning it because that's why you would do that. But and then somebody else was asking me about foundation or whatever. Who's the person who wears like minimal makeup, whatever, and so I gave her a tip and she tried it. She's like, yeah, I like it or whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's all I'm like. I'm not saying that is enough. I don't need to be paid, but I think like tips like that, I don't mind giving out. Like my friends will ask me stuff all the time. Like somebody asked me about under eye bags this week, and I was like, and I told them whatever I was from. So I researched when I was really busy that day with work, but during my lunch, I looked it up, found something, and told them, you can try this. What Danessa is like glitter. It's everywhere. So I saw a little speck. I'm like, how'd it get over there? It did. There's Urban Cafe NYX NYX. Because I was remembering when I did the Chat GTP video, I had bought that for that, and I'm like, I need to use this liner. Sony brown liners. We are using Makeup by Mario Central Park again. That is not it. Ooh, that would have been, yeah. Luckily, I look because I could have worn that, but that would have been a lot with this hair. And I'm like, I got with the eyes, I don't need to go with the lips too. Because you're supposed to have to do a grandiose eye, a subtle lip, grandiose lip, a red lip, kind of a neutral eye, like just browns and bronzer as a eyeshadow kind of thing. So Central Park. This is a moisturizing lipstick, but it's still. That's why I'm glad I didn't wipe off the gloss. But so this is, I forgot what color brown they consider this. I'll look it up. Reddish brown maybe, but it's still subtle compared to the Rockefeller. Rockefeller's not subtle. It's more of a burnt sienna, I want to say almost. But see, subtle. Let's do eyes. I could easily do an eyeliner. I don't have a felt one. I don't know if this is expired or not. My Revlon. I don't know if I'm also inspired to be a little dramatic with my eyes, whatever. Wicked was on last night. I've never seen Wicked. It's on NBC, I guess. And I realized I did not go under my eye. And I don't like musicals, except for like 3 musicals. 4. Purple Rain, Rent, because I saw that in college. Hamilton. That Jingle Jangle. I realized I almost forgot about Jingle Jangle. Because it's a holiday movie, and so I'm really thinking about Jingle Jangle. I don't like movies where they just start all of a sudden break out in song. I'm like, what? Which is basically any Broadway show. This is that one again. So the same one I used as transition. I forgot about the shine. I was invited to a New Year's Eve party, I think. I'm like, okay. because I haven't spent New Year's Eve like with other people in a very long time. I'm gonna take this with me. Am I taking a purse? No, I'm not taking a purse. I realize I've not pushed in anything on my face, so let's go ahead. Of course, anything glittery, if I just, it may end up on here. Oh, but what one of the girls said was she wanted to learn how to kind of like sculpt or whatever, like my last look on that happy hour. So I was wearing Mented, and then there's probably Fenty contour or whatever. And I'm like, that's what I do. And I'm like, we can get you there. It's not like an overnight thing. I'm like, I told him like this took like 2 years to get to this point. Yes, it was 3 years, but I wasn't thinking that at the time. But I'm like, at least 2 years. So I'm like, okay. And I need to find my phone before I leave. I have a little like template thing for people to fill out and say what kind of skin they have. Because one girl who's sitting next to me, oh, these are all women. I know I keep saying girl. So you can get an idea of skin type, budget, constraints, things like that. So I can do the research. Because my job pretty much, yeah, I'll do the tips and give tips free, whatever, but I need to make money. So figuring that out was, okay, I'll give you tips and everything, consult, go with you to Sephora, that's what I'll charge for. Because when Elise wanted me to do makeup, I'm like, I don't actually do makeup. I'm like, but I can definitely guide you. And so I think if she remembers, that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm like, I can definitely guide you. Like, if you want to apply it, I can tell you what to get, And then if I need to go in, like the lash class, like I had them do it, but when I needed to, I went in to help. So I'm like, that, I can do that. You know, yeah, I could possibly become a makeup artist or whatever, but it's like, I'm a bit of a germophobic. So being that close to people's faces all the time, I'm like, yeah, no. And yeah, and then people's skin issues, whatever. And for their big day or things like that, I don't want to mess that up. So that's why I have never like seriously been like, okay, let me go to makeup cosmetology school. And I have a lot of makeup artist friends, but I'll let y'all do that. But no, my point about Wicked is dramatic and everything. So I was watching it and I'm like, Ariana Grande or Glinda was like, I'm like, she's a bit annoying and conceited, but funny. And I guess that's part of the shtick, because like I said, I've never seen Wicked, the play or musical, what have you, the Broadway show. I'm like, I know the basics of Wizard of Oz. I know it's based off Wizard of Oz, so I'm like, not knowing the story, what the story's about, whatever kind of thing. So I'm just watching. I'm like, okay. And then ironically, at the doctor's office, they had Wicked on again, so I got to watch a little bit more. Because I only watched like an hour last night because the Tournament of Champions on Food Network was on, and I'm like, I have to watch that. Okay, earrings. I did not decide on earrings because I can decide depending on what face I did. Oh, basically eyeshadow. Okay, those are too dramatic. One day I'm gonna have to find a reason to wear those. Are these too obvious? I'm gonna change my sweater. Put my sweater on, and then I'll do that. So, you know, Torrid, when you have a birthday, they give you like $15 or whatever off. So I bought this. I didn't realize till just now, or before when I laid it out, that it's a loungewear sweater, but it's warm and what I need for tonight. So I'm like, these two, I think these are too much. the pearls. I know probably what. Yeah, I'm just gonna do the pearls. But yeah, so Wicked out. It's on Peacock. I'll watch it eventually. And it'll be a while before I get to the second one. And so I was curious about something in it, so I did Google. I'm like, does such and such? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah, okay. So I was like, all right, as long as it ends that way, that's all I care about. Okay, yeah, these earrings are it. Let me put these away. It's like, you know, it's very subtle, but classy kind of thing. So with that, I am off to the last happy hour. And I'll see you when I see you. That's Ocean 13 reference, I just realized. Yeah, that's, I like that. I don't like 2, except for Vincent. I do like him in the Capoeira. But 13. 13 is funner. 11 is a little, let's get into this is the genre kind of thing, and it's a remake, obviously. I like 11, but 13 is fun. 13 is definitely fun all the way. Anyway, about that diatribe, let's move on. Okay, I will talk to you later.